Hello everybody, and welcome to Crash the Stash, where we use our bits and pieces in our stash to create some really fun and exciting journal pages. And today is all about freedom and letting go and creating quickly and not overthinking it. So right now we're just going to get started with a little gesso on the page to seal my pages, give it some texture. And one of the best ways to just get started, I find, is using your stencils and sprays, because it's quick. And the purpose of today was creating quick and not overthinking it. All of these stencils are part of the Doodle or Geo stencils in the shop, and they'll all be listed on the blog. And when I lift up my stencils after I spray, I will use just regular copy paper and press them down, and then use those papers in other projects. They just create some of the best prints, and it helps clean off your stencils. So now I just want to add some collage using up my stash, and I just have a basket full of bits and pieces, and I'm just grabbing the first thing, not thinking, just really trying not to think too hard about where everything is going. I just want to create quickly, and this is one of the best things about intuitive painting, is that you just go with when you first see something and it feels good, you do it. You don't overthink it. Sometimes overthinking can really stop our creative juices from flowing. And so I like to just create quickly in my journal pages as often as I can. A lot of times I come to my journal with a plan, but sometimes it's just the best. And you find so many great nuggets of goodness when you're creating this way. So now I'm just making marks with my pencil, and I'm just starting out with some paint, and I don't really know where to start, so I just start making marks. Just start adding some color, and I start light so I can start to get a feel for maybe where I want to go. I use my brush, I use my fingers. Everything happened really quick with this page, and that was the purpose. The other thing I want to say too is you have to be willing to let go of your background. As much as I love the background and the stencil work, they're all going to add this deliciousness to your page in the final product, but you have to be willing to say goodbye to some parts. And I start circling areas that I really like, that really speak to me. It kind of gives me an idea of where I'm going and maybe what I want to keep. And this will change, and things will change as I go along, and as I start to feel, there's something magic that happens. You start to get in this groove, and things start happening, and colors start mixing. You're like, oh, I like that. Oh, I want more of that. Oh, I don't like that. It's all part of the process, and it happens more for me when I just create quickly and intuitively. Making marks, remembering to make marks in your wet paint, they show up in the most beautiful places and create texture. So now I know that I want to add some contrast, because everything's kind of light and bright, and I want to have some contrast, thinking maybe I want to write or do something like that, and of course it will change. Adding some alcohol. The sky's the limit. There's no rules really. When you're painting intuitively, you're just going with the flow. I'm using some high flow acrylic. It works wonderfully for drips. And I use teal and quinacridone magenta. My fine liner pen is just one of my favorite tools. It's so versatile. You can use it for drawing, for sketching, for writing. There was a swish in the paint that said, "Ooh, that looks like a flower." So I went around with my fine liner and I'm like, "Ooh, I like that." And that's how it happens. All of a sudden it starts to come together. And my fine liner is mixed with fluid acrylic. It's a titanium white fluid acrylic, and here I've got the black one, which is carbon black. Fluid acrylic, a little bit of water, and airbrush medium. And I've never had a problem. They've been in these bottles for over a year or so, and they haven't clogged or anything. They work wonderfully. Mark making is another great way to find direction, to get interest, to just get the creative juices moving. And like I said, there are no rules, the sky's the limit, so I am using house paint. I had some samples that I'd gotten for a large project, and I liked the color, and I just went with it. And again, here you have to be willing to let go. I let go of some of the areas, the circles, to kind of bring those flowers to life, to accentuate a few other things. It's all part of the process. Bringing in a little bright now green gold as some contrast to the other colors. And I'd gotten a little bit of paint on that bird, that green gold, and I was like, oh, I like that. So all the happy accidents are magic to me. Now I'm going to go in and define and clean up some edges. I'm using a General's Charcoal Pencil Extra Soft. It is my weapon of choice for adding depth, dimension, shading. Now I'm using I'll go back and forth and use my non-dominant hand for some additional mark making. It's a great way to get that scratchy, kind of childlike marks. And it also, again, is part of that process of intuitive painting where you don't necessarily have all your control. It's not typically what you would do, and the results are fantastic. I'm switching back and forth with a Stabilo pencil. And now I'm using my Doodle Mini stencils to add just a touch of interest in some of the areas that I feel that's a little flat. And I take that dark color and often will have it come out of another dark color so that it looks like it blends a little bit. And now I'm just adding my my thoughts for this journal page and the joy and all of the things that happened in the process. And that is it for today, my friends. I'm so glad you joined me for today's Crash the Stash, and if you liked it, give me a like or a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And this is the end of this journal, and so the next time that we are together I will be creating the journal cover, so it'll be a long, fun video. So thanks for watching today, and I will see you again soon.